Right, so moving on to Saturday's match, we were at Rookery Waters. Big open as usual, there was over 50 on it, there always is there. It was the two snake lakes in, Jay and Raven. Really wanted to draw Jay, really enjoyed it the last couple of matches on there. I felt that would be the bigger weight lake. They do a continental payout there, so if you win, if you're not on the winning lake and you win your lake, you still finish second in the match. So it's still worth winning, and they've drawn the peg out for me the night before, and I've drawn 27 on Raven, which, in all honesty, wasn't where I wanted to be. I've won from down there before. It's a lake, even though I wanted to be on Jay, Raven, I've always said it's my favourite lake. I've not blown my own trumpet, but I've won nearly every match I've fished on there. I really like the fishing on there. I've not been on there this year, apart from for the Winter League. Not been there this summer, but yeah, really fancy it. It's a bit newer lake there. It's about 14 metres wide. It's like a horseshoe, with one being one end, and it goes down to 29. But the thing with where we are, one is further up. It's not an equal horseshoe. The second leg is longer, if that makes sense. So, and when I got to the peg, the wind was going up towards the horseshoe bit, and being down that bottom end, you're actually a lot further away from the wind. It's flat calm down there, and whereas peg one, the other side, is nearer the wind, nearer the fish. You're quite a long way down. But so I've always been confident doing anything on there. It is generally, well, until this weekend, I could literally say when I was going to catch what. It's generally mud line fishing, just the shallowest water you've got. They love really shallow water on there. Just fishing micros and expanders for an hour or two, starting with a 6mm expander. If it's hard and the carp aren't feeding, you catch on a 4mm, catch F1s then, but you usually catch a few carp early, then some F1s, and then you just keep fishing over, getting what you can, and then you change to maggots and ground bait, dead maggots and ground bait, and start to catch carp the second half of the match, and then you end up big potting it. And then it's just fishing down the edge. The only other line I do fish on there is a top kit with meat. I've actually had, when I drew down this end last time, I actually won the match, caught a load of fish on meat short that day on a top kit. It's really deep. I've got my other rigs, but I haven't actually got that rig there. It was a shallow kit and a short 4, just a 414 rig, but I never had a bite on it, so we won't really go into that. And then I've set 4 shallow rigs up. You just generally get your head down across on there, but last in the festival there last August, I did have a massive weight on Castor Shallow, 270 pound. I was up just where I wanted to be, I think about peg 21. It's boiling hot day, flat calm, and I've just got loads of big carp down the middle on casters. So I've got casters for Jay, I've got plenty of casters, so that was going to be my match. Fishing, like I say, pellets, then maggots and ground bait across. Same in the edge. It was, I found, I'll go into the peg in a sec, but it was actually 3 inches deeper down the edge in my shallowest bit, 18 inches down the edge, and I had 15 inches across my shallowest water, which a little bit too deep really. I want about 10 to 12 inches on there, but you get what you get. There's all reeds and stuff. So yeah, 4 shallow rigs. I'll just have a look at my rigs. All the rigs were on 12 to 14 slick for a short kit, which I said I didn't use that much. I always used to grade down, but now I'm fishing Rookery a lot more this summer, not going F1 fishing as such. I've actually fallen in love with this. It's a perfect combo for carp and F1s, and I quite happily use it for F1 shallow everywhere now, in all honesty. Just that bit more control. So the mudline rig, 020 with an Elco, a couple of back shot. Left just a little bit longer line than normal because there was a breeze, even though the peg was calm. Again, there was a wind going up there, just for a bit more control. So I've had 10 inches of line. I normally like a little bit short because you're pushing it into reeds and stuff there. Bulk 5 number 8s, 3-inch hook length of no 15, and I had a 14 hook on because I was going to fish 6 minute spanders and bunches of maggots. That's that one. 4 shallow rigs, a little dibber for fishing 12 inches deep. These were all 013 bottom because it was F1 fishing to 018, then the other 3 were midgets. And I had those at 15, 18, and then I set one up at 24 inches, a bit deeper, and that had an 015 bottom on, for the simple reason I had that with strong shot, and I could bring the float down a bit and have a bit longer line for flicking it around for carp. That was going to be mainly for carp, because if you catch the F1s you need to catch them shallow, and it is deep down the middle there, so they do generally feed really shallow. They like to come really shallow. But you're never going to do away with F1s. You need to catch F1s to keep you ticking over on that road, but you need to catch the carp. The carp are like £2 to sort of £4 the average, and then there's some bigger ones like 6, 7, 8, even £10. You need to be catching some carp. It fished really well on the Thursday Open, 200 odd pound had won it. Getting back to my peg, like I say, I was third from the end. We were laughing about my section the morning before, the day at breakfast, because it was just a ridiculously hard section of anglers. Starting on the end on 29 was Reese Hearn, fellow matrix angler, brilliant at this sort of fishing. Then next to him and next to me, between me and him, was Lewis Fenson from Guru, who's been framing most matches down there recently, been doing really well, and he's actually drawn that peg the last 3 matches, I think, where he was on, and he's framed the last couple, so he knew exactly what he's doing. I had his brother Jay the other side of me, then a couple of anglers, I'm sorry I don't know who they were, and then the end peg of the section on the form peg on the lake, and he got the ripple there as well, and a lovely 10-inch mud line was Tom Edwards, who always takes some beating, and to be honest I couldn't see Tom being beat for the lake. I'd say got the perfect scenario, a lovely shallow mud line, 10 inches deep, tight to the bank, the wind going up there. He's 4 pegs in from the end, but it was just getting up to where the wind was, and it had won the Thursday match with over £200, so I couldn't see him being beat, but I'd say I'm really confident on there. So I started the match. I've been throwing some meat on the top kick, like I say, never had a bite there, I've tried it a few times. Throwing casters down the middle, and I've just gone across. The peg has got a big tree that comes out, it's 14 metres wide, but you've got a big tree that comes out to about 11 metres straight in front of you, so you fish either side of it. It was a lovely mud bank to the left, but it was 18 inches deep, tight to it. This side there were a few reeds and stuff, but I found a nice little bit, 14 inches there, shallowest bit I had, so I've started there, tapped some pellets in with an expander, and it's normally just a little race the first half hour, in all honesty. I've watched everyone around me catching a few F1s, and I've not had a bite. After 20 minutes I finally did have a bite, but it was a liner that kept moving and moving and moving, and after about 5 seconds I've had to reset my rig, and I've actually foul looked it, it was still there, a carp, lost it, and it's the only bite I've had across there in like 35 minutes, and they'd all got 10 or 12 F1s all around me. And the only thing I could put it down to was the tree. Where we had all the rain, it had messed them up. Snake lakes are terrible in F1s when there's been raining, and the fish just sit across and don't feed. And I think, and just sun themselves, and I think with the tree being there, it was just causing a shadow, and the water wasn't warming up and the fish weren't sat there. It was as simple as that. So I knew straight away I wasn't going to win them today. They just didn't seem, like I say, you normally catch the first hour is your best hour generally, and then the last hour. So not a good start. So I've gone on the casters, dropped it on my deepest rig first, had an F1 straight away, and then waited 10 minutes, getting an odd little wobble, so I kept at it. Then I've caught 2 carp, and I thought, oh, this will be alright. They're like £3 a piece. And then not a lot else, just odd silly little indications, no more fish. And I've thought, we're nearly an hour in now and I've not caught a lot at all. So I've got the big pot of dead maggots and ground bait across on the 14 inches, just trying to force it, and I did start to see an odd one come in. I didn't want to force it like that too early, but it did sort of bring a few in, but I've gone across there fishing maggots and a doing the old ground baiting, and not a bite again. There were odd signs of fish coming in. So I've changed what I'm doing. I've put the largest toss spot on. I've wetted my ground bait up, and I've started feeding little balls of ground bait. It was again the same as my margin. It's krill and carp, and it goes against everything for mudline fishing, because like I've shown you on the mudline video, sneaking your bait in. But what I've actually done is fished a bunch, like 5 or 6 dead maggots, put a little bowl of ground bait in there, and dropped it from a big height. So it landed there and hopefully draw some fish in. And by being patient, you'd have to wait there 5 minutes or so, but they would come in on it. And I started to catch, and I had 10 carp in, like 10 chucks, and I thought, this might be right actually, and then it's just died. I've not had another bite there. I prattling around shallow, caught a couple more, still getting the missed bites, and what I actually did on my 18-inch deep rig, I've overshot it with a number 8 and held it there. And I've had the elastic come out a couple of times, and they were tiny F1s, so I ripped that off in all honesty. Still kept throwing on it, but I knew it wasn't going to be any good. No one was catching down our end. After the initial little run, our end was just rubbish in all honesty. Never known the lake like that. Just put it down to a nice warm day and all the rain that had gone in before. It's a terrible combination and flat calm. So I've gone the other side of the tree in 18 inches, which again is crap. Started doing what I'd done, and I started to get a few, and I've just caught an odd one on it all day, but it was never great. I just felt I'd get a run later on. I started to big pot the last hour, and there were a few tails there, but you just didn't get a bite. I started catching I hadn't caught F1s over it. It'd all been carp, and when I could see carp's tails there later on, I started to catch F1s. It's normally completely the other way around. You don't catch them late on. So just put it down to the lake, which was just bizarre. I did change to, I got a cat out and started pinging casters into the tree. I've caught a couple of carp on that. I should have fished the casters there all day in the tree, like 11 metres, pushing it into the branches, just pinging, waiting for your elastic to come out of the short line. I would have caught a few more doing that, I think. But yeah, all in all, never had a bite down the edge. They've caught down the edge, the other end of the lake in the wind. Again, there just wasn't a lot where we were. Come the way in, I've weighed 109 £. So I've had a day's fishing in the end. Jay next to me has had 99 £. And so I've won the section by default, because as expected, Tom's won the lake. He's had 184 £. And he's fished exactly how I fished. He's fished on that mud line, the shallowest water, micros and expanders, and then ground bait and maggots late on, and he's just caught all day on it. So not that I fished the right method, there just weren't the fish there, but good section prizes there. It's £40 for a section. So it wasn't a disaster. I was happy with that, really. Best I could have done from there. The 2 anglers to my left haven't even weighed in. Nor was Reese on the end, so it just shows you how hard it's been where we were. So I was happy I figured a few things out and caught some. We've got a festival there next month, so felt like I'd learnt a bit for that if I did draw in a bad bit, but I've never known the lake fish like that. It's normally a lot better. You normally catch all the way around. Like I say, it's just rain and not very good. And I actually went to 2 islands again on the Sunday coaching. They let us on the lake on peg 18 in the crack bit in the Bowl of Doom. Right, it's the worst peg in the Bowl of Doom. And there's been a match the whole of the rest of the way around. I was with he's a bit of a well-known bloke round our way, Neil, or Shaky as everyone knows him. He's not had the best of luck with his health, with lots of different things. He's actually got Parkinson's now. Really, he fishes a lot of the matches. He's really been struggling and been fed up with it all. And we took him out for a day's coaching, sorted a few things out, worked out what he could actually do, because it's not easy for him. Things we take for granted he couldn't do. He's an absolute credit to himself. He really enjoyed it. Caught his personal best carp, caught a lot of fish, and clicked £60. He clicked all his fish. He caught £60, and that would have probably put him second in the match, because just like Rookery, the lake completely switched off, boiling hot. and all the rain that's gone in the last couple of days, it takes them a few days to acclimatise. They just sit shallow and don't want to feed. So that just highlighted what I'd said about Rookery, because I know how good both of those lakes are. But yeah, well done, Neil. I just want to mention him. He's an absolute star. I know he'll go back into fishing a lot more confident now. He said it himself. So it was lovely to see him catch a few. This week we've only got one match because we're coaching again at Floatfish on Sunday. I'm at Decoy on Saturday. There's a big money match on 2 of the strip lakes. It's £100 to enter, but massive prize money to be won. So really looking forward to that. Hopefully the sport picks up a bit after the bad weather, after the funny weather. They've got time to get adjusted, just so there's no more rain. So hopefully we'll have a good day to speak about next Monday. Wednesday I'll get a couple of tips videos. I've been asked to do one about expander pellets and how to prepare them, so that's a nice easy one to do. And someone asked me about shotting, so I'll get a separate video done for different shotting patterns and when to use each one. So I will see you again Wednesday. Thanks for watching.